Introducing PubCoin. PubCoin is the rewards program for pub sports contributors. Regular chat contributors share their play of the day, POD, in the YouTube chat, including the phrase POD in their message. At the end of the week, the amount of units earned are converted into PubCoins. PubCoin can be used as reward points for prizes, shop discounts, and contests.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Mills here, Pub Sports Radio. Do you guys want to challenge the personalities here at Pub Sports Radio? Do you guys think you're better than them at entering in your MMA predictions and picks? Would you want to get paid for it? $100? Here's how you do it, man. You sign up right here at the link below. It's just this easy. PubSportsRadio.com. Enter your email. Pick your weekly picks. That's it. Oh, and you get bonus points if you can predict how they're going to win in what round. Every single week, a new winner's getting crowned. So every Saturday on Pub Sports Radio. So come on and check us out. You can win $100 just for signing up. Only thing you need to do is see if you can beat us here at Pub Sports Radio by entering your UFC predictions and picks weekly. Do it. I dare you. See you guys soon.
Upgrade your membership to gold, you will be automatically entered in every horse race, every Wednesday and Friday. It is time to race horses. We are racing camels today.
Shout out to the gold members. We're racing in San Antonio immediately here. And we're off. 2 minutes, 74 canals on this racetrack. It's wide. We're racing in San Antonio.
Matt Wally moving forwardly. Jeff Slaughter in the mix as well. And as is Randall Sheffield, who's put that beautiful nose out front.
But it's actually real grass here, Jimmy. Maybe Kentucky bluegrass. Oldie, no! There he goes. Oldie in the lead now. K. Wolf falls back. The horses love it. Sometimes they stop and eat it on the way to the finish line. That's why your horses start so far in the back. Here. Oh, look at Nuts Flush Allen bursting out here. J-Dub in the mix. Rude Boy up here as well. Jimmy, take it away.
There's Oldie. Oldie is moving to the front. We are past the halfway mark in our 2 mile. And there's Ricky Levy.
Oh my goodness, he's in the mix here. Jimmy, take it home. This is our first dog race ever.
19 seconds left in the horse race here. It's Fernando Mendoza trying to find the wire. 14 seconds left. Can Fernando Mendoza take this home? Here comes Kenny Kengan. Kenny Kengan wants a piece of the pie. Put his schnoz up front. Ricky Bobby, 9 seconds left. Can Donut Silks make a run? Can Red Small make a run to be $50?
You son of a bitch!
Here comes Tori Coker. Kenny Can Smoke and Mirrors. Director 97 home. That is a way. Here comes Jason Meyer, the Eldorado custodian. Billy Friedrich. Jones one all coming down the finish.
Coin! Nowhere!
Oh no! Fanatical Jim!
Get him, Jimmy. Where low shack at? The bottle's getting empty. I'm not cracking. We stacking. Chips, all of this. What I want. Plus money winners. That's what I'm on. You can say I'm gone. I prefer elevated Pub Sports Radio. Time to get educated. Who can produce? Pay the juice. Letting loose with so much abuse that the bookies want to call it truth. They're getting slaughtered. Can't forget Jeff and Low Baggers in the chat. That's a legal weapon because we need. Oh, yeah. Pubbing. We be pubbing.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome into another edition of Betting with Bouquett. My name is Jose Bouquett. It's going to be a fun episode of Betting with Bouquett. We have a shitload of games to talk about here today. Hockey is back. We're in day 2 of hockey. Hockey got me right in the ass yesterday, but we press on to another good day here today. We also have college football. As usual, Wine Time Sports comes on. We all know he's Pac-12 Big Ten, so we'll talk about those games. Connor Mack will join us after as well. Talk about some more games. We'll talk about that. What's today? Wednesday night college football. It's always fun to have here, so we'll talk about that game as well as Connor's best bets, and then we will cover four of the playoff series going on in the MLB. So it'll be a very fun show. Cannot wait to get it all broken down with you guys. I kind of got cooked last night on bets, so I'm excited to get right back after it here. So it's going to be very fun. Shout out to everyone in the chat here coming in bright and early. We appreciate you guys here. Doug Wise on the Tigers here. Action Jackson on Habs versus Leafs. Under there. Tom Leach dropping his action as well. Sweaty Butcher, nice to see you, my guy. I'm sure you're reeling about the Bob Salah news as well. Very interesting moves there. Ken Davies in the chat. Tyler Huff, rush yards. Nice to see you, Kongs Clips, my guy. Gerald Jones in the mix here, dropping his best bet and his birthday. Shout out to you, Gerald Jones. Happy birthday to you, my guy. Happy birthday. Hope you're doing well. Hope you and the family are doing well. And we will get you birthday pics here as well. So, happy birthday to you, Gerald Jones. Serious Business. Donut Silks in here as well. Robert Franklin. Good God, what a games we had yesterday in baseball. I'll tell you that. I was on the under in the first game. Frustrating. I was fucking so confident in it and just brutalized me there at the end, which is kind of frustrating, but nice to see the Mets win. Another very interesting Dodgers-Padres game. Justin McKelvey joining us here. Yes, I don't know where it went either. I saw it earlier in the show. I don't know where that went, but Justin, go ahead, drop it. Appreciate you, my guy, here as well. Strategic Investments, Clark Edge. Old E in here as well. Stacks being dropped here in the morning here. Guardians team total over 3.5. Good morning, Kelly McInnes. Nice to see you here. But let's run it one time for Stacks. And let's get this show started right.
Stacks, 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 stacks. Stacks, 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 stacks.
Shout out to you, Justin, my guy. Rob McMahon, all in the chat here. Wine Time Sports in the chat, who will be joining us here later on in the program. Shout out to you, Wine Time Sports, 9 Legacy. Let's get after it here, ladies and gents. Let's start off with the hockey. We're going to hockey, college, and we're ending with baseball here today. Of course, we will be done before the first game. So let's get after it. And let's bring on, man, I like talking hockey with. Guides me. He's my guiding light in these hockey games. And he also slaps his own ass here. Just like this. It's the one, the only, Mr. Ghoster joining the program. Ghoster, hello. It's nice to see you. How are you doing?
Top of the morning, Jose. How you doing today? Let's get a little bounce back after yesterday. I got to go with the gut. The gut's always right, guys. I was looking at Florida and Utah. I changed it up, got cute at the first period. So capped the card. Didn't take too long. I think, first look is going to be the look today. So let's bounce back, gang. How you doing today?
I'm doing all right. Can't complain. I'm excited to talk hockey with you. This is obviously not my sport. So when I get to hear you wax poetically about it, I find it interesting.
What do you mean? You play goaltender. What do you mean it's not your sport?
You're right. I was a great catcher, and then I turned into a goaltender. I did in fact, and I have friends that know this as well. Whenever I caught, I would just I would say out loud, and I would tell myself, "I'm Tim Thomas. I'm Tim Thomas."
Timmy
Shout out
Thomas,
to my guy Tim Thomas, great guy.
He's a beauty. I think it was 2011 when they won the cup with him.
Yeah. Now he's a recluse, but he was a great guy. Shout out to him.
Okay.
All right, let's get into the NHL here, and let's start off with Le Bettor.
C'est bon.
Come on, let's play it. We haven't seen this in a long time.
La plus grande franchise dans la histoire du hockey.
Yeah. Shout out to the Canadiens here versus the Maple Leafs. I watched the first episode of Face Off, and I'll know a little bit about Willie Nylander. I watched him get his heart ripped from his chest. I hated to see that.
Yeah.
But it was a good watch. We have, and I'll give you some confirmed goalies here. I'm sure you got them as well. Samuel Montembeault. We don't have we have unconfirmed. Guessing Joseph Wall according to Daily Faceoff.
Well, now they got Dennis Helgeby there. Apparently, he's traveling with the team too. Toronto is just typical Toronto. They're just getting all weird start of the season.
Okay, well that's good. I'm excited to hear your thoughts here, Ghoster. And you quickly touched on some teams you like at the beginning of the Low Shack show as well. We'll quickly get into your kind of like futures aspects, looks of the NHL here. I'd like you to talk about how you feel about both of these teams broadly when breaking them down. But we'll talk about market here real quick, and that's not something Jimmy does often. But I'll talk about totals markets here because money line's a little more difficult, obviously, with these big favorites. 68% of the bets and only 46% of the money on the over in this game. So you can say sharp money on the under, 33% of the bets, 54% of the money on the under. This opened up at minus 169. We're up to minus 182. Interesting.
Very.
And it was a minus 108 each side opener at Bet Online for the 6.5. Now the juice is to the over. So all that sharp action apparently on the over or on the under, and it does not matter according to the juice. Mr. Ghoster, take it away. This first real hockey game here with two Canadian teams, and this is a beauty.
Yeah, I've got a couple Canadian games today, guys? But the first one here is good battle, Leafs and Canadiens. Some additions here, big additions from Toronto. They added Tanev. They got OEL, which is Oliver Ekman-Larsson, Stolars, goaltender Dewar, and then Hakanpää. Hakanpää and Dewar are going to be out, but some additions they lost, guys. Bertuzzi went to Chicago. Gregor's no longer with the team. Brody, Edmondson, and Samsonov. So bit of a new look team for the Leafs this year. Montreal, not a lot of changes. Added Barry Boulet, little speedster on the third line. And then Barron, they signed him to an extension. But this game, the coaching is a big thing with Toronto, guys. They got the new coach, right? Jose, the guy from St. Louis, Berube, hard-nosed coach. That's, I think, exactly what this team needs. They need to get they got their 7-year guy who's now on the Devils. He's out of town. So the under, I wouldn't be jumping on the over just based on the way the Canadiens are too. They got a series too, actually, you can check out online there. I forget what it's called, but they break down the whole season, even the preseason for the Canadiens. And what I've been seeing is just accountability. They got Martin St. Louis second, third year now. So I think this is going to be a lower scoring game, guys. Quickly here with Wall, 38 of 43 in the preseason. Montembeault, 37 of 42. Goaltenders didn't face too many pucks, which I don't mind. 37-42, 38-43, not much difference. Montembeault is a much better goalie at home too, historically. I would rather Wall go. Hildeby isn't too bad. He's 6'8". Jose 6'7", big boy. Came from the AHL with the Marlies. So the thing is though, you got Stolars too. They got 3 goalies again now with Stolars, who again he's 6'6", Wall, and then Hildeby. So they're going to have to figure out who's going to be the starter here. It's going to be a no play for me here. I'm not going to fire on the board like I did yesterday, guys. Can't be going too far in the hole. But Canadiens were 2-4 in the preseason. Leafs were 4-1-1. Both were +3. Accountability should be here. I would lean to the under, first period under. Not going to fire on the Leafs here. It's going to be anytime you got a home opener in Montreal, especially playing Toronto. This is a Montreal game where I don't want to say they're live, but they're probably live here. As a Toronto fan, that is. But I would be leaning towards Montreal here on a plus money and the under 6.5 here, gang.
How do you feel about the Maple Leafs in general this year, Ghoster? Is this the year that they actually advance to the second round?
I got to stay healthy, obviously, but it's the new coach. I've been wanting to get the other young kid out of there. Slipped my mind here. He's on the Devils. You guys know who I'm talking about. But getting Berube in there, he's a Stanley Cup winner, both playing and as a coach. This is the coach I think they need. So I am a little higher on Toronto here. It should be a new look Toronto team, not as many 6-5 come from behind wins. Should be a lot more, 3-2 kind of lower scoring games, a lot more accountability, because that's what you need in the playoffs. You need to be like look at Florida, right, guys? You need to just have a well-structured team. You can't just kind of be up and down, left, right, up and down. So I am higher on Toronto this year, Jose. It's just how they respond to their coach. And I think it's going to be good. They're going to respond well to Berube this year.
Okay, beautiful. And are the Canadiens going to make the playoffs this year, or is this just another shit year?
It's tough. They're a really young team. Goalie, Caden Goalie, really strong young defenseman. He's going to be out. Ryan Bacher. They got a lot of first-round picks in the last few years. So Laine's out too, which really hurt them. Dirty play there from I think it was against Toronto, actually. If I'm not wrong, someone in the chat could bring that up. But they're missing a couple guys already there, the Canadiens. It's going to be tough for them. I would say, they're probably not going to play playoffs.
All right, let's move on then. Let's go to game 2 here. New York Rangers, Pittsburgh Penguins here. The Rangers. Did I see correctly that our boy Igor here got offered the biggest contract in goalie history, and he said no thanks?
Yeah, he's a bit of a madman, that Igor Shesterkin. He's a top goalie though, man. Like, the only thing is he's a bit of a madman in between. Kind of like not like a Roy or anything, but he's a bit of a hothead, right? He's gonna play still. It's just the extension he's looking for. 65 to 72 in the preseason, decent. Yari, on the other hand, he's very up and down, but in the preseason, 74, 79, didn't look too bad at all. Big change, though, Jose. Riley Smith went from Vegas, played 1 year with the Penguins. Now he's on the Rangers. So Riley Smith, one of their top 2 forwards, is now on the Rangers. They added Bolivier and they added Grzelcyk. I want to take the Rangers. I'm going to stay off the Rangers play. I'm actually going to go with a no goal in the first 10 minutes here, Jose. Plus 125, first play on the card. I think Yari bounced back year. I like what I saw from the preseason from him. They were also a +7. Whenever I see these plus minus, that's goals for, goals against in the preseason. They were +7 goals for, goals against. Same with the Rangers, +2. 2 teams that do know each other. I do think this is going to be one of the lower scoring games with these 2 goalies. Riley Smith, he's gonna know that he knows the Penguins, right? Obviously, it's going to be a new look team with the 2 additions, but I would give the slight edge to the Rangers here, Jose. Lower scoring game, but no goal first 10 minutes, plus 125 in game 2 tonight.
All right, no goals there. By the way, Anthony Stolar is now confirmed officially.
Jesus Christ. All right, so they're going with Stolars. I don't mind that. He's actually had a really good preseason. He might be their number 1. Who knows at this point between Wallham, Hillby. I don't mind Stolars. I like the low-scoring game in that one, though, guys.
Okay, all right. And Tristan Yari, like you said, likely for the Penguins. Igor's still unconfirmed, but I guess we do expect him in the lineup first game there. Nutflush in the chat. Nice to see you, Nutflush, saying NFL team totals coming soon here. Tom Leach dropping some horses in here as well. Some UK horses. Nice to see that, Tom, as well. By the way, Gokster, I remembered this. I need to see the video of the eagle. You know what I'm talking about. Your eagle.
Oh, I got a seagull. I can do the seagual call, but
no, eagle golf.
Oh, the eagle. You want the content?
I need to see that as well. I have to remind myself I need to tell you before I forget, but I need to see that, Gokster, later. Later today. But let's keep rolling here. That was just for me, everyone. That was just for me. Let's go on to another Canadian battle, our second of 3 here. Edmonton Oilers, Winnipeg Jets here. Saw Mills in the chat put Winnipeg Jets today. I am an Edmonton Oilers supporter this year, Gokster. I have the Edmonton Oilers to win the Cup, plus 800. Bet that with Jimmy. I believe it is McDavid's year. I have not gotten to that part in the Amazon Prime show, but I'm excited. And I believe in Connor McDavid here to win his first Stanley Cup. You have to get there and lose to learn how to win, as they say here. So line movement here real quick. Minus 167 opener. Minus 162 now for Edmonton here. Totals wise, we have a, let me double check actually real quick. We have a 6.5. Wow. Actually, no, we've gone from 6.5 to 6 now. Interestingly enough, and Gokster, there's 76% of the bets and 88% of the money on the over in this game, and we went down. So everyone knows where I would lean in this game. This kind of feels like an under kind of situation here. Little reverse line movement. Goaltenders, neither one is confirmed. Actually, I lie. Both are confirmed. Connor Hellebuck, Stuart Skinner, Mr. Gokster. At one point, and correct me if I'm wrong, Hellebuck was the best goalie in the world, and then Igor kind of snatched his chain. Are we going to see a lower scoring hockey game here, Gokster?
Hey, I do lean to that lower scoring. It's just the big games. Hellebuck crumbled there in the playoffs. It was tough to see. Actually, in the preseason too, he had a lot of rubber. Faced a lot of pucks on net. 70 of 82. Not the greatest of numbers, but one game, Jose. It was, I think he allowed 6 or 7. I think it was I want to say the Wild or something. But other than that, he's allowed 2 goals in the preseason. Skinner, 43 of 48. I like knowing just how the goalies have been in the preseason, see what they've faced. But then the additions, guys, that's huge here. So the Oilers got Arvidsson and Skinner, right? So Arvidsson came from where did he come from? I want to say Nashville, and then Skinner coming from Buffalo, who's been there for a while. So they're going to be on the second line here, guys, with Draisaitl. So you got 2 new line mates. They went 3-5, Jose, in the preseason. They were a minus 17. And that's the worst actually in the plus minus wise. So they didn't exactly have a good preseason. Probably still figuring out getting Skinner, Arvidsson acclimated there. But yeah, the team's pretty much the same. You got Henry, Connor Brown, Janmark, top line with the Nuge, McDavid, Hyman. Defensively didn't lose anybody, right? Yeah, still got the same crew. Actually, no, they did. Sorry, they lost Fogle, McLeod, Ceci, Holloway, Broberg, and Carrick. So this is a bit of a new look team. I would say more on the defensive end. You got Troy Stetcher, Ty Emberson in there. So I think this is a sneaky play. Our guy, I forget, was it Millsy? I think it was Millsy said the Jets. And you know what? I'm going with the Jets to sneak one out here, guys. I didn't want to overthink it. Yeah, you could say they are going to crush them, but I think early on here, I don't mind what I saw from the Jets. Looking at their lineups here too, really quickly here. I brought up the Edmonton. Come on. I got Kyle Connor, Scheifele, Velarde, who's coming into his own right now. Ehlers, Nemesnikov, Perfetti. I follow on the 4th with Barron and Kapari. This is their top 4 defense too. Like they added also Hayden Fleury with Colin Miller on the back end. This is going to be a low-key, I think, good team. You lost Dylan to Foley, Monahan. For the most part, those guys are, on the wrong side of 30. Brossois, that's their goaltender too. So this Jets team, guys, look out. I think they're going to be a playoff team, that's for sure. And Hellebuck should be strong. I'm taking the Jets, guys, plus 150 on the money line to surprise the home team here tonight.
Wow, that is wow, I cannot wait to see this game now. Matty Ice is shocked.
Yeah, I thought I'd shock. It is preseason. Yeah, they can come out and just start flying, but I don't mind. I think this Jets team is going to be low-key good, and defensively, they're fine. Yeah, Hellebuck looked a little shaky in the preseason, but like I said, that was his first game where he allowed 6 or 7. He was fine after that. And then injury-wise here, you got no Kane. Kane's going to be out. Your Venti, who they picked up, and then Ryan's day-to-day. Gustafson's going to be out for Winnipeg. Anderson, Dolan, and Hinola, along with Stanley. So they got a couple defensemen still out, but they're deep on defense, Jose. This is a good hockey team, in my opinion. So I'm on the Jets.
All right. Well, I am on the under here. We'll take the under 6.5 minus 120. I think we'll see a rock fight. We'll just see these boys, kind of shake off the rust, because I think the Oilers know it's not about right now. Gokster, when is the NHL playoffs? I don't even fucking know. I was going to say
not till April. Not till April. So
it's all about April. It's all about April, and these guys are gonna tune it up here late. It's gonna be fun, and it's gonna be fun.
In that second line, to keep a close eye on the second line, guys, because Skinner, Arvidsson, and Draisaitl, they just haven't played a lot of games together. So, and then their bottom two lines, they're okay, but I just think Winnipeg's got enough firepower early in the season to compete.
All right, well, that's a fun one. Matty Ice disagrees, and I'll be thinking of you both here tonight. Let's talk about the biggest rivalry in hockey. Calgary, Vancouver, obviously.
You mean Calgary, Edmonton? Come on.
Calgary here versus the Vancouver Canucks. I'm sure Jimmy somewhere has already, he woke up today with a headache. I feel like I can already tell. He woke up today with a headache. He's like, God damn it, I have to do another season of Vancouver Canucks hockey. So it's going to be a lot of fun to watch this game. I was pretty surprised, Gokester. They're the biggest favorite on the board last night, minus 200-ish. I was like, wow.
That's I don't know about that.
Okay, well, the Canucks, I thought, okay, maybe they're going to be, another really good year in the regular season. Maybe they'll take another step. Who knows? Goalies right now we have, and I'm going to refresh again just to make sure because these goalies are coming in quickly. Yes, we have Daniel Vladar. And by the way, can we just take a second and pat myself on the back? I'm nailing these fucking pronunciations today.
You can call him Darth Vader too. That's his nickname, right? Darth Vader.
It is Darth Vader versus Arthurs Seelovs, and unfortunately, we're not getting our first look at the Iron Lady this year, so that's a little sad. But
injuries.
She's always here with us. Here with us. Canucks at minus 180 or 198 now, excuse me. Like I said, it has gone down a touch here. Opened up minus 200-ish now. Like I said there, we have, as for the total here, we have let me see, 88% of the bets and money all over the over in this game. And we've gone from a 6 minus 113. Now the juice is on the minus 120 over here. Looks like it'll be a 6.5 seemingly soon here, Gokester. Yeah. Two interesting hockey teams. It seems like Calgary's down in the shitters. What do you think of Vancouver overall, and what do you think about this game?
The expectations are really low for Calgary this year. Start off with the preseason, guys. 5-2-1 plus 11. Had a good preseason. Added Mantha, Jake Bean, Lomberg, just a little bit of grit, a little bit of sandpaper on the back end. This is going to be a tough team to play against. They don't have any players that jump off the screen. You got Huberdeau on the third line. You got Kadri centering the first line. Then you got this Samuel Hosnick and then Kuzmenko. So it's not a lot of big names on this team. I just think they're going to be tough to play against. Just looking at what they did in the preseason, see how it turns over to the regular season. But Darth Vader, 79 of 90, a lot of rubber he faced. That tells me he was trying to play get right in those games. I believe it was at least 3 or 4 goals against. And then Sivos on the other hand, 66 of 72. I do think this will be a little more of an over series. Sivos, though, he stole the show, guys, for your Canucks, for all your Canucks fans. He was their leader when Demko went down. See how he does in his second year. Maybe the sophomore slump could happen, but the over, I wouldn't talk anyone off. It does make some sense. Canucks signed DeBrusque, Forbert, Heinen, Sprong, and Lankinen. Not the greatest goalie. Lost Lindholm, Zadorov, Cole, and DeSmith. This is the dog could be live here. The thing is, though, I could also see Vancouver being down then and coming back in this game. So it may be even a first period over 1.5 and a full game over 5.5. Guys have done that in the past. Same game parlay. Get that at probably plus 110. Because if the full game goes over, I would expect the first period to, and that didn't happen last night or in the afternoon with Seattle and St. Louis, 0-0 after the first, and it's 5 goals in the second, Jose, and then it was 2-2 for Seattle. You guys saw that game. It's just real collapse from Seattle. They're pretty disappointing, actually. But yeah, sticking to this game here. Not going to play the Canucks. Lean towards the over, though, here. Goal scorer props could be live.
And what do you think about the Canucks overall this year? They like we saw last year, they make the playoffs. Did they win round 1?
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
Yeah, and then they lose in round 2. Obviously, the Iron Lady will be very essential to all this. But what do you think about them overall this year?
I think they'll be another playoff team. High hopes. Don't want to say they're like the Detroit Lions or anything, but you got a coach in he slipped my mind there, but he played with Gretzky guys, played on the Penguins back in the 80s and 90s. He's just a real tough coach, and the Canucks responded quite well to them. Knows Zadorov, Lindholm. Zadorov, see how they replaced him on the back end. Quinn Hughes, he's going to be still leading this team. I think they'll make the playoffs. How they're going to do, we'll see. But I think high hopes for this Canucks team. Year 3, I think it is with coach.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm interested, as always, to hear your thoughts on these teams. Again, I'm going to ask you about some futures here in a second, Gokster. But we're on to our last game. It's a game I already bet. I bet yesterday.
I like it.
Colorado Avalanche, Vegas Golden Knights, and I am on the Las Vegas Golden Knights.
Let's go, Jose.
Shout out to Mel. Mel told me to bet the Knights yesterday. I saw a lot of people I trust in the chat today like the Knights, and it seems as if my guy Mr. Gokster likes the Knights. So this is very good. This is very good to start here.
We're all on the Knights, so let's hopefully.
Let's talk goalies here real quick. And yeah, you're right, because it is a little scary, but let's go Knights. Yeah, goalies, neither one confirmed. This is the late game, so I guess. But it is Georgiev and Aiden Hill shown on Daily Faceoff as of now. So we'll see if that actually happens. Market in this game, -110 opener for each side. It's kind of gone down to even both ways. It was -110, -102 Colorado, -106 both ways now at Bet Online here. Market for the total, we have 74% of the bets, 84% of the money on the over. That does feel kind of right here. Now, I'm always kind of battling with the perception of the Las Vegas Golden Knights in my head, Mr. Gokster. It's so funny that, they're obviously expansion team. We all know the deal by this point. But they've been so good in their years in that I always just automatically assume they're a contender. They're going to be in this. They have Jack Eichel, who a player that I actually know and is a good player. I'm very interested to see what happens. Mark Stone, very good at hockey. I'm very excited to watch this game, Gokster, and especially because I fucking love watching the Avalanche. I love watching the Avalanche. I think they're one of the most fun teams to watch. McKinnon is my second favorite player to watch. I guess I just like watching the best players because McDavid and McKinnon are electric. But I'm excited to watch this game, Gokster. What do you think about this matchup here? And these two teams definitely could play each other in the playoffs.
I'm down on Colorado this year a little bit, to be honest. It's just everything around Colorado it feel like it's starting to get just a little old, I guess you could say. I don't know. It's just getting a little I'm just bringing up their lineup now, guys. You got Nikolai Kolovenko. They brought this guy in from Russia. Colin Ritchie. You still got Ranton and Drouin and McKinnon on the first line. But then you got Middlestat, Ross Colton, Miles Wood, Logan O'Connor. Real gritty third line. But then you added Parker Kelly. I know this guy from Belleville. He's not going to score a lot of goals. He's not. It's just this team doesn't exactly feel like they're as skilled as they've been in the past. I don't think they've been like you're talking about how they've been such a fun team to watch in the past, Jose. They might slow down a bit this year, I think, to be honest. And then looking at Georgiev, he's not exactly a winning goalie. I hate to say it. He has flashes where he can get 2 shutouts in a row, but then his bad is bad. That's the problem with Georgiev. 63 of 73, not the greatest in the preseason. Hill 37 of 45. I think he's still ready. And then looking at Vegas, they got this young guy, Pavel Doroveov, 16, up and comer. Look out for him. And then Alexander Holtz they added from the Devils on the second line with Hurdle. This is a younger, more skilled team, I would say, this Vegas team. And I'm surprised the line is kind of only -110. I guess people are still high on what Colorado can do, but I wouldn't even talk anyone off a puck line here if you want to kind of make a little bit of a buck on Vegas. If it is one goal, they'll pull the goalie and the empty netter will be live. But I could even see Vegas winning this like 4-1, 4-2 kind of game. So they did lose some players. Marchessault, Carrier, Amadio, Martinez, Stephenson, but they got these young players that are coming up. Also got Victor Olofsson, on the third line. Good tough fourth line with Howden, Colasor, and Tanner Pearson. So, and then their defense still got added Hannafin. You got Haig, Petrangelo, Theodore, McNabb, Whitecloud. This is going to be another playoff team. And then their coach too. You know the coach, Jose from Boston. So this is I'm pretty high on Vegas this year, actually.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, I do indeed know the coach. Yeah, it really hurt my feelings watching him win a
coach,
cup. Yeah,
really
he
good.
is. But Gokster, I'm on the Knights.
Me too.
You're on the Knights officially as well.
Minus 107.
All right, Gokster. Nice. So this is a short card for you here today, huh?
Yeah, it is. It's kind of nice. I feel like I can kind of attack it more than those 12 cards.
So it's only no goal first 10 minutes in Vegas. Anything else official for you?
No, so I got no goal first 10 minutes in the Pittsburgh Ranger game.
Mm-hmm.
I got Vegas money line minus 107. And then we got Winnipeg on the money line plus 150 against the Oilers tonight.
All right. Beautiful. Those are great plays there, Gokster. Good 3 plays there. Now let's talk again. We don't take too much time, but I am interested, Gokster. It's still early, day 2 of the season. You touched on it quickly with Loshak, but who are the teams you like this year? If you want to do East, West, however you want to do it, go ahead. But I just want to know, what's in the mind of Gokster? What do you see happening in the playoffs this year?
All right, I'll spit some stuff here for you guys. I think the East is a little weaker, to be honest. I got the Devils, Toronto. Don't mind Tampa Bay. Kind of agree with Jim there. Florida looked really good, though. Hey, don't sleep on Florida. They looked really good that first game. But Toronto, the Devils, the Metro with Carolina, I don't know what to expect. The Rangers. It's going to be, I think, the same teams for the most part. Detroit should have a good year. Down on Ottawa, to be honest. It's the West, I think. If you could bet East or West Stanley Cup, I think it's coming out of the West this year. You got Dallas. Nashville's much improved team. I don't have all the additions, guys, but one big name, Steven Stamkos, is on that team now. Also Marchessault, too. So those are 2 big names they got from 2 Stanley Cup teams in the past. Edmonton, Vancouver, Dallas, Stars as well. I think they'll be good, too. So I think the West have more talent, Stanley Cup latent teams than the East do. I would take a shot at even maybe Nashville. Depends on Saros, but I think this Nashville team, they should be damn good this year, Jose.
So in Dallas, it's funny. Obviously, I asked this just because I'm close to it. Dallas feels like a team that's just very deep with no stars.
I wouldn't. They got older stars. I'm just like, you got obviously your captain there, Jamie Benn. Rupe Hintz, he's not, I wouldn't say that old. No, you got 2 young superstars in Wyatt Johnston and Jason Robertson. Those are 2 young superstars. Duchesne, Tyler Sagan, Jamie Benn, some older players. But no, then you got Logan Stankoven. He's a stellar player in the playoffs. He'll be a good player for them. This Maverick Bourque, too. Look out for him. He was a stud for the Texas Stars in the AHL. I remember seeing his name a lot. Now he's third line. Look at that, third line center with Jamie Benn and Stankoven, old stanky leg. So this Dallas team, I'm pretty high on, to be honest. Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. And do you have any futures in officially? Well, obviously not really officially for the show, but have you placed any?
I haven't placed any, guys. Not kind of my thing, even though I probably should. But for anyone that wants to place, I would say Dallas, Nashville, out of the West, and then the Devils. We'll see about Toronto. It all depends how they look with this new coach, but Florida did look really good. But I think the Devils are going to have a good year too.
Okay. Well, beautiful work, Gokster. That was an excellent job. You're going to hopefully be coming with us on Wednesdays here. We've gotten into the deep negotiations. What is your employer now? The hockey guy?
Yeah, hockey stick company there. So, I maybe a little earlier. I don't know what you think there, Jose. Starting right at 11. I kind of got pretty much till 11:30 there. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, guys. I still want to shoot the show with you. Enjoy capping hockey with everyone in the chat too. So I have till pretty much 11:30s going forward on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So yeah.
All right. Well, we'll get you in and out of here quickly, Gokster. So don't you worry about that.
As long as I got the winners, though. Hey, if I don't got any winners here, I don't blame you guys. Everyone's going to tell me to, smoke her off. So.
Gokster, you're just good to look at on the screen, so we need
it don't matter
that. as well. And he brings out good hockey plays and some golf as well for you, those of you that know. Follow Gokster on Twitter at Gokster99. Anything else you want to plug out of here, Gokster?
No, that's pretty much it, man. Gokster 99 guys, golf picks. We got the Utah Championship coming up on Thursday, so I haven't tweeted out my pick sheet. I'll have outright first round leaders matchup bets you guys can check out, all you golf fans. And look forward to next week with you guys.
All right, beautiful work there, Mr. Gokster. Great job as always there. By the way, if you guys have watched this program before, you'll know that I might have a roach problem or two. I'm staring at one climb my wall right now, looking like someone climbing Everest. Just climbing up the wall. Nothing I can do about it right now because we have more capping to get done. We have a full loaded college football slate here coming from our next two guests. Our first one, dominating right now, this college picks he's giving out. It feels like every week, 2-1, 2-1, 2-1. It feels like every week that's what it is for Wine Time Sports here. So let's bring them on again, and let's do it all over again. Your guide to the Big Ten and the Pac-12, Wine Time Sports here. Nice to see you, Wine Time.
Yes, sir. What's up, Jose, my guy? Good to be here with you again, man, on another betting with Bouquet on Wednesday. I'm excited to get this money with you, man. Let's keep it going, my guy.
Yes, let us keep it going. It's going to be a fun one here. I love that every time you send me your games, I know what the games are going to be, but you're making money on them, so why change it, damn it? Why change it? Let's kick it off here with a fun one. Washington versus Iowa here. And yes, that record on the screen is accurate. 61.1% right now for Mr. Wine Time Sports. Up 6.45 units. Making you money here on a Wednesday. Beautiful stuff, Wine Time. Let's talk about Iowa and Washington here as I have to start clicking off. I feel like Jimmy have tabs on tabs. Just hockey, college, everything right now. So this is very funny to see here this turn. Market in this game, we'll start there. 43% of the bets, 67% of the money on Washington here. Coming off an exciting victory last week. We were on them. Money lines against Michigan. It got sweaty there a little bit, but we were fine. The purple rain came down and we were all good. This opened up at 2.5, has basically stayed there the entire time. It did bump up to a 3 at one point for Iowa, and there are still some 3s out there. Bookmakers showing a 3 here as well. Very interesting game here for us, Wine Time Sports. Totals-wise, let's touch on that here real quick here as I have to bring up another tab to bring up all the totals here. But I'm excited to see an Iowa offense that I've not watched this year, but I know can fly now, apparently, which is funny. 84% of the bets, 87% of the money on the over in this game here. So very overwhelming over money here, Wine Time. What do you think about this matchup? I'm excited to hear your breakdown.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting Big Ten matchup. Washington heading over to Iowa, man. A very, very tough place to play. And Iowa coming off a big loss. We were on them last week. It was one of the losses that we gave out on the show. I believe they lost the game by 28. They didn't score a touchdown until the last couple of minutes of the game. But I think we could all agree that Ohio State defense is elite. We talked about that on the show. Really good against the run. Their guys were getting to the quarterback, doing everything they should. But yeah, with that being said, man, Coach Kirk's going to have a big bounce back spot right here against Washington. Man, Jose, this Washington team could be 6-0. It's crazy. Sitting here at 4-2, 2 of their losses, they outgained their opponents in yardage. It was just the flags, and they couldn't capitalize in the red zone. Washington defense, man, they brought in Coach Belichick. Their defense is only averaging 15.2 points per game against them. 11th in the nation. Washington, man, not really known for having a super great defense. It was that elite offense last year that pretty much took them all the way. Will Rogers is really doing everything they're asking him to do right now. Nothing too crazy. They're running the ball with Jonah Coleman, who we already talked about, one of the better running backs in the Big Ten and in the nation. And you look at Iowa on the other side, man, the rushing attack is elite. This kid, Caleb Johnson, we talked about him last week. We've been talking about him every week. In my opinion, this is a top 3 running back in college football. He's going to go in the second round this year's draft. This guy's going off. He had 16 carries for, I believe, just a bit under 90 yards against Ohio State, which was very impressive. They went down early. They couldn't really run the ball, and they forced K to throw, which is exactly what we didn't want them to do. And Washington, man, against the quarterback, they're giving up only just a 40% completion rate, 4.5 yards pass attempt. It's top 10 in the nation, both of them. Defense is elite. You would think I'm going to get to the under on this spot. 2 teams that love to run the ball, 2 teams that are playing really good defense right now. Iowa, really good in the red zone, as always on defense. They hold their opponents up there most of the time. They could against Ohio State, but I don't think there's going to be too many defenses out there that can stop Ohio State's offense. With that being said, we're on Iowa in this spot. I think it's a big bounce back spot for Coach Kirk. It's a shorter number. I got -140. You could probably get a better number right now at about -135, maybe -138, but it's around that number. Get in on Iowa in this spot, guys. It's a big bounce back spot for them. Washington coming off a huge home win against a top 10 team. A game that was close until probably about 6 or 7 minutes left in the game. I was getting a little scared there for a minute. I'm not going to lie. Michigan bringing in that new quarterback really switched a lot of things up. I was not expecting that. I thought Orji was going to play the whole game. Great game plan by Michigan to even stay in that game. Honestly, I'm really high on both these teams, Jose. Honestly, I'm on Iowa's win total this season. I think they really need to get this one in order to do that. And for Big Ten play, they need this win. So give me Iowa on the money line. I think Caleb Johnson's going to have a big game at the running back position, and I think they're going to be able to hold Washington in the red zone on those 4th and shorts because of that red zone defense, and they're going to have to hold them to field goals. But at the same time, Washington's missing field goals. They're not making their field goals. So, give me Iowa. I think they're going to get this game.
Okay, Iowa for you here. And, of course, follow Wine Time on Twitter at Wine Time Sports. You'll see these plays get tweeted out. All that good stuff, and you'll get them early. So Iowa money line for you guys here. Wine Time, your shirt looks great, by the way. Wine Time.
And I just read that comment.
Your shirt
shots of Red Mose.
Yeah, shots of Red Mose. Shots of Nasty Nate, who say you look like you're going to First Communion. It looks great. It looks great. Everything's going great. Let's go to our next game here. And this game has upset written all over it to me. Wine Time Sports. This is USC versus Penn State. I'm excited to hear your breakdown. First cross-country travel for Penn State, I believe, here. And I think it should get you out of routine, the whole thing. I don't really think Penn State's good to begin with. I don't like Drew Allard. But let's see the market here, and we'll pass it over to you because you are the expert here, and I'm excited to hear, again, what you have to say. 92% of the bets and 97% of the money on Penn State here. That is absurd to start this off. We have moved, and let us see if we have moved any sort of way into the USC's favor. This would be a bet for me. But this opened up at 5. We've gone to, it's funny, it opened up at 5, got up to 6, and then drops down to 5.5 here. Quite quickly here. So that's very interesting. Totals wise, let's go there. Penn State traveling to USC. I'm sure they'll enjoy the sun. I'll tell you that. 85% of the bets, 81% of the money on the over in this game. And we've gone from a 48 all the way up to 50 and 51s being shown now as well. Wow, very interesting. Wine Time Sports, this is your conference. 2 teams you know well. Take it away.
I have a lot of questions about this Penn State offense, Jose. They did not look good last week against a mediocre UCLA defense. But with that being said, they only got 21 points against Illinois at home the week before, and they really took over that game in the 4th quarter. Drew Allard, man, this guy's sus out there. I mean, he doesn't make the big-time throws or anything like that. He doesn't make too many mistakes with that being said either. Nick Singleton didn't play last week. With that being said, their leading rusher so far this season, really good running back over there. I'm not sure what happened exactly. He should be back in for this one. USC, on the other hand, man, coming off a crushing loss to Minnesota in a hostile environment, in a game that we talked about last week that I said Minnesota was most likely going to get them outright, and they did. Very hostile environment in Minnesota. USC ain't used to that. I mean, you saw them playing the big house. You know, their 2 losses are on the road this season. USC is going to be a much better home team, especially in the Big Ten. And this is a team I think that USC can get outright, quite frankly. I'm not impressed with this Penn State offense. They have a really good defense. With that being said, UCLA moved the ball really efficiently last week against them. Couldn't score in the red zone on 4th and short, but they also don't have the playmakers that USC does have on offense. And I think USC really needs this game. Not only does he need this game, Lincoln Riley needs this game for the program. He's really getting lost over there right now, already having 2 losses this season. You know, they're playing some good ball over there. They've had a pretty tough schedule, and those 2 tough road environments we already talked about, those are tough places to play. With that being said, USC, I think their Russian attack defense is going to step up in this one. They have a good defense at times. They've been struggling a little bit on the road, but like I said, they're going to be back here at home. I think D'Anton Lynn's going to tighten up the screws a little bit over there with those defensive linemen, the linebackers. I think they're going to – I mean, I got it in at the +6. Gave it out on Twitter at, I think, -110, I want to say. Double check. Apologies.
No worries. I like this look here.
+6, -115. Penn State or USC. I think they're going to get them outright. Miller Moss is playing some pretty good ball over there too. They've got a good running back. This might be a little bit of a lower scoring affair, for being honest. We see a total at about 50. I think this could hit 50, but I think this again, USC is going to win outright. Give them to me on the spread though. You know, I sprinkled on the money line. I'm not going to give that as an official play. But give me USC in here. I think they're going to get them outright. Honestly, Penn State's very much overrated. This is not the number 4 team in the nation. And if this is the number 4 team in the nation, then that's sad. We've got that. I mean, that's bad because they barely got by a UCLA team that's struggling big time, and they're not scoring too many points either. So give me USC here.
Yeah, you watched that UCLA game very closely. I'm sure you were on the under in that game, right, as well?
I was on the under, and I was on the Bruins plus the points in that one. You know, they had that touchdown late. They had the cover before that, though, honestly. It was a 7 – I mean, think about this, Jose. It was a 7-3 game with a minute and a half left. Drew Aller threw a wild 50-yard pass downfield. They were able to get in the end zone with about a minute left in the first half, so they took a 14-3 lead. It was a lot closer than the score, though, and I'm not super high on this Bruins team, so I think that's bad news.
Yeah, and obviously the one and the biggest factor, I think, and it's going to be a factor for USC and all these UCLA, you know, Pac-12 teams. How are they going to stand up to the physicality of Penn State? But I do like USC here as well. It's been a year of upsets so far, so I do like USC there. Let's keep it rolling here at Wine Time Sports. Thank you for joining us here. And let's go to the SEC here. Ole Miss, LSU, a game we talked about yesterday, or should I say Cab and Pete talked about it yesterday. Cab, I believe, on Ole Miss. I've already forgotten, unfortunately. This is how much work, unfortunately, all these bets. I'm like, now I don't remember what he's on. But they talked about this game yesterday. It's cut out right now. You can go watch their breakdown, and we're going to cut this one out as well because the people need to know what Wine Time Sports is on. Quickly, let's talk about the market first here. LSU, 77% of the bets, 85% of the money on Ole Miss here. Very interesting. I can see why. A lot of love for Ole Miss here. -2 opener goes to -3. Starting to see a lot of 3.5s here as well on the board. So the line is moving with all that money at the least here. 42% of the bets, 55% of the money on the over in this game. So a little under love as well in this matchup here. You would expect points. Ole Miss's defense, pretty good this year. 64 opener, down to 63.5 at some places. So pretty split totals wise, but the, betting public or people that bet these games early enough, maybe not the public, love Ole Miss here. What do you think, Wine Time?
Yeah, I'm big on Ole Miss in this spot, Jose. I finally get a game where I can back them in a spot. Haven't taken a game of theirs all season. It's one of the teams that I took a team total on before the season. Over 9.5 wins, -120. We're still looking on track to get there even after the Kentucky loss. They're going to have to get this one right here, though. Speaking of which, this is going to be a really crazy environment here in LSU. You look at the number 9, the number 13 team in the nation right here. Big matchup right here for both coaches, honestly. Brian Kelly and Kiffin over there. Big matchup for them. This is going to decide a lot of things. Ole Miss defense, Jose, this is one thing I didn't think they were going to be this elite at this point in the season. I knew they got a lot of transfers coming in, but I didn't think they were actually going to be this good. But they really are the real fucking deal. They're giving up just 1.9 yards per carry. That's third in the nation, giving up just 9 points a game. That's fourth in the nation. This team's playing some really good ball on defense. Jackson Dart had a really hot start. I have a little thing on him for the Heisman as well. It's not looking too good right now, but he's got plenty of time to turn that around in SEC play. He's got two of the better wide receivers in the nation, Trey Harris and Juice Wells. Trey Harris is questionable for this one. He left last week in the middle of the game. Not sure if he's going to be able to go in this one, but I am expecting him to go. LSU, they brought him Blake Baker from Mizzou, really good D coordinator. Trying to turn this defense around, not really getting the job done, honestly, to get started. Typical LSU, honestly, lately, they used to be so known for their defense, and now it's just their offense. But, Dart needs to make some bigger throws down the field. The last couple of games, he's been struggling in SEC play. The tougher opponents. He hasn't been able to complete passes for 20-plus yards like he was doing the first couple games this season. I expect that to be a lot different. LSU gives up a lot of explosive plays in the secondary. I expect Jackson Dart to attack this secondary at will. They've got some really good running backs over there too. Parrish is playing some really good ball. He's got almost 500 rushing yards on the ground through 5 games this season so far. LSU's running the ball at a good rate. I wish they would run the ball a little bit more. They're only running it at a 43% rate, and it's about 5.5 yards a carry. So they're running the ball pretty efficiently. I think they need to go to the run game a little bit more if they want to keep Ole Miss off the field. But I think it's going to be too much for this LSU secondary. I think Jackson Dart's going to have a big game, 300 to 400 yards, 4 touchdown passes in the air. He's got to make a Heisman statement here in LSU. Very tough place to play, I know. But give me Ole Miss minus the 2.5, minus 110. I got it in on Monday. Love this play. I'm so glad I get to finally back Ole Miss this season.
Yeah, this is going to be a good one here. And, if you had to make a power rankings list of all the coaches in the college football world based on them knowing the spread and wanting to cover the spread, Lane Kiffin is in the top 5, top 3 of that list. So I'm sure there's a big game for him as well. This is a legitimizing game here. If they can win this game, they'll probably jump into the top 5. And I'm very, going to be very interested to watch this game. So Ole Miss for wine time minus 2.5. Cab likes them. A lot of our cappers around Pub Sports Radio like Ole Miss here today. Well, I guess this week. Let's go to our next game here, and maybe one of the games of the year. This is one of 2 games of the year that people had earmarked before the season started. This and Texas versus Georgia. I personally have Texas A&M versus Texas as well, but whatever. Ohio State, Oregon here. A conference matchup here, which is always funny to say. Ohio State going across the country here, going to Oregon. And like I said, biggest college football game of the year so far. And I think going into it, it definitely had more hype than Alabama and Georgia. So this is going to be a fun matchup. Dylan Gabriel. We have the whole, Ohio State factor because quietly, their wide receiver room has been the best in college football for the last, 7 years now it feels like. For a long time. They keep going from stud to stud to stud, and they have another stud there. I'm excited to watch this game, wine time. So let's get to the market here early here. And I want to hear your take on this game because, like I said, biggest matchup in college football so far. In this game, wow, did not expect this. 91% of the bets, 90% of the money on the Ohio State University. Wow, unexpected there. So let's go to where this line has moved. This opened up at Oregon minus 1.5 and has quickly moved into Ohio State's favor here. Wow. That's funny. And that or minus 1.5 was way early. So I'll quickly look. This opened up this week at a -4 Ohio State. Very interesting. -4, it's up to 4.5, comes back down and goes down to 3.5 here, Ohio State. Wow. What a fascinating line move this is. And this is obviously, like I said, a very hyped matchup. So this line was out early preseason line. And now we've got it Ohio State -3.5. All that money on Ohio State, and it's coming down a bit, is very questionable to me. Wine Time Sports. For the total, 64% of the bets and money are on the over in this game. And we go from a 51.5, but I want to double check real quick. Yeah, we go from about 51.5 to now 53. It's been quickly moving up. It went from 52.5 to 51.5, but more love to the over has pushed it up and over here to 53. Wine, again, my massive game here. What's your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, massive game for the national media, for sports watchers, for gamblers, pretty much for everything here. Number 2 against number 3. Doesn't get much better than this. Oregon coming off not so impressive win against Michigan State. Dylan Gabriel, I don't know. If I was Oregon Duck fans, I'd be a little scared right now. Dylan Gabriel is no Bo Nix. We're seeing what he's doing in the red zone. He's turning the ball over, especially the last couple games. You saw Dan Lanning getting really frustrated with him on the sideline after just keep making bad throws in the red zone, man. He had a pick 6 that went for 96 yards against UCLA 2 weeks ago. He threw 2 or 3 interceptions in the red zone last week against a Michigan State defense. That's good, but nothing great, honestly. Dylan Gabriel just doesn't look super comfortable, honestly, in the system so far with Will Stein, the offensive coordinator. It's a big drop down from Bo Nix, if you ask me, honestly. That being said, Ohio State, man, these guys are good against the run. What does Oregon like to do? They like to run the ball. They got a guy in Jordan James over there who's an absolute dog. Had a huge game last week. I believe he had over 150 yards on the ground, close to that. Really good running back. He backed up Bucky Irving, who's playing in the NFL right now last year. You've got Tez Johnson, an elite playmaker with the ball in his hands from Oregon. I think Dylan Gabriel is going to him a little bit too much. He's forcing it a little bit too much in these situations in the red zone, which have been forcing turnovers for him. I think he needs to spread the ball out a little bit more, honestly. With that being said, Ohio State, man, Chip Kelly return here, man. We know what he did at Oregon. Started the whole culture over there, honestly. They still love him over there. Dan Lanning doesn't have too many things to say about him, but Dan Lanning's beat him every time he's faced him when Chip was over at UCLA, being the head coach. Now he's an offensive coordinator, doing what he does best, running an offense. He's got one of the best offenses we've actually ever seen in college football. This guy's going to probably be a coordinator in the NFL next year after this season. This Ohio State team is legit. They go out and they get Will Howard in the portal. He actually lost the job to Avery Johnson over at Kansas State. I was a little surprised that they went after this kid with good reason, though. Game time manager, does everything he's asked. They run the ball. They've got Judkins, who's a really good running back over there. This guy's an NFL running back, playing really good ball. They've got the 2 guys, JTT and Jack Sawyer, on the defensive line from Ohio State, who are really good edge rushers, Jose, but they're really good at stopping the run too. We talked about it, and they stopped the run last week too against a really good Iowa team. Caleb Johnson got off on a couple carries, don't get me wrong, but if Ohio State, once they put their foot on the gas and they get 3-4 touchdowns, it's going to be tough to score on this defense. It's going to be tough unless you have explosive plays, which Dylan Gabriel can do. Don't get me wrong. This is a very hostile environment, Jose. Oregon, very tough place to play. Doesn't have the largest crowd, but it gets really rowdy there. It gets really wild there. Really cool place to go if you want to watch a college football game. Still haven't been there. It's on my bucket list. I want to go one day. I just think this Ohio State team, they've got bigger plans in mind. That's a national championship. Oregon, I mean, are they going to make the college football playoff with the loss here still? Yeah, 100%. Not sure what their schedule is going forward, but this is definitely the toughest matchup on their schedule. It is at home. Don't get me wrong, but I think we're seeing 3 and 3.5 for a reason. The spread keeps going up for Ohio State. I got it at the -3 at -120. You can still get that at a lot of places, maybe even at a better number. I just think this is going to be a mismatch for Oregon. I don't think Oregon's going to be able to score as many points as they have been able to. To be honest, their offense hasn't looked that great. They've been moving the ball downfield, but Dylan Gabriel is really struggling in the red zone, throwing interceptions. And he's kind of done that his whole career. definitely a guy that can throw for a lot of yards, a lot of touchdowns and stuff like that, but definitely makes his mistakes out there. Give me Ohio State. I think Ohio State beats these guys by 7 to 10 points. I think Chip Kelly's going to put his foot on the gas pedal, show Dan Lanning that, he can beat them. So I think that they're going to get this win here. I think Ohio State -3 all day long here. I think they win this game potentially by 10 points.
Wow. Ohio State for Wine Time Sports. Billy Friedrich agrees with you here. Goron saying Will Howard makes Ohio State a natty-ready team here. He says he's glad you're on the right side here as well. I'm glad that Goron has a script as well. Billy Friedrich mentioning he's got to be a first half under here. Ick here. I know Ick's supporting his Ohio State Buckeyes as well here. I'm not going to lie. I lean Oregon in this game. I think this home crowd is going to be a factor. Travel is going to be fun. And don't worry, Wine Time. Oregon has the mighty Purdue Boilermakers next on their schedule. The mighty Purdue Boilermakers. So it's going to be a very interesting game. And whatever you guys do, whoever these Ohio State has after this game, probably fade both these teams after, because there's going to be whoever wins this game at the very least, because there's going to be a hangover. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun, and I love the Chip Kelly angle of that as well. I forgot that he was coaching Ohio State's offense.
Yeah, and he still hasn't beaten. Like when he was at UCLA, Dan Lanning put his foot on the gas pedal against him and didn't stop. Look for that. I mean, look for Ohio State to maybe get up 21-0 early, like literally the first 3 possessions. I think they're going to move this ball with ease against this. Oregon's got a really good defense. Don't get me wrong. They've got a good defensive line. I just think this Ohio State offense is elite. I talked about it with Ick. I texted him the other day. I was like, watching a lot of this Ohio State tape, man, I'm really impressed. This is the number 1 team in the nation, if you ask me.
Well, I cannot wait to watch this game on a beautiful Saturday in Oregon. It's going to be a fun one. Last ball game for you, Wine Time. Of course, we got to talk about our UCLA Bruins. Former beat writer, of course. I got to say our. I don't know what to make of UCLA, Wine. It seems like they suck. They hang in there with Penn State. A gritty game on the road in the whiteout. It was pretty impressive here. Now they're 5.5-point dogs against Minnesota and PJ Fleck. I don't know. Maybe I'm kind of over the PJ Fleck nonsense at this point. I don't really believe in their team anymore. But if UCLA can stand up defensively with Penn State, who admittedly I don't think is very good, why can't they stand up here with Minnesota? Why? I don't know. Let's talk about the market again here real quick, and then I'll pass it off to you here. UCLA, interestingly enough, no information for the spread now.
Just the money line.
Yeah, it's interesting. 5.5 opener. Looks like it's moving to 6 at bookmaker here. And yeah, there's not much action or not much information on this game on action. Totals wise, we have this actually. There's only 2,000 bets on the totals so far, but 97% of those bets and 97% of the money all over the over in this game. We have gone, let me see here, I have to keep searching. We have gone from a 41 to a 40.5 now. Very interesting that we have all that money on the over. We've gone down still, kind of like the under. It makes me feel. We saw this again yesterday, or I should say last week, with UCLA. What do you think about this, Wine Time?
Yeah, this is going to be a good matchup here at the Rose Bowl. For everyone out there, everyone's trashing UCLA in the national media, man. As of right now, they've had the toughest schedule in college football, and it's not even close. They faced 3 top 15 teams, 1 top 4 team, 2 top 10 teams. The schedule's been a gauntlet for them. Minnesota coming off a big win at home against USC. We talked about it. It was a Minnesota spot being at home. Minnesota's a different dog at home. They have a sellout crowd there. The fans are rocking and rolling out there. Always a hostile environment. I know a lot of their fans are going to be flying out here for this game too, as of a lot of the Big Ten teams. Go out, make it to the Rose Bowl. Great place to watch a game of football. I had this line open up at 6.5 on Sunday. Sat around there, dropped all the way down to a 4.5 at one point. Went back up to a 6.5. I grabbed the 6.5 at -110, mostly at plus 5.5 all over the board right now. still like that. We got a total right now that's dropping with only 4% of the bets and 4% of the money on the under. Listen, UCLA has been playing some pretty good defense against some pretty elite offenses on paper. So to say, I mean, I wouldn't say Penn State has an elite offense. They are the number 4 team in the country, though, and they held them to under 30. And like I said, UCLA was in that game up until about a minute and a half in the second quarter when they were down 7-3, gave up a big play. They were in the game the whole time. That was a lot closer than the score actually indicated. Their offense is very, it's very non-dimensional right now. If we're being completely honest, they don't really have anything going in the passing game, in the running game right now. Unable to put points on the board. Give or take, they have played some really good defenses, but still haven't been able to score 20 in any games this year, which is a problem. This is a tough offense to learn from Eric Bieniemy coming over from the NFL. With that being said, there's a lot of question if Ethan Garbers is going to be playing in this one or if it's going to be Justin Martin, the 3-year redshirt sophomore who played last week against Penn State. His first career start at Penn State at 110,000, didn't turn the ball over one time. A lot of people are kind of saying maybe he should be the starter. Listen, Garbers has won a lot of big games for UCLA the last couple of years. He hasn't looked that great this year, and he's been getting banged up. Not really his fault. It's more of on the offensive line, but they made a couple adjustments last game. Only gave up 2 sacks to one of the better defensive lines in the nation in Penn State. So those improvements definitely worked. It's going to be a question if Garbers is going to be playing in this one, though. I think either way, I think UCLA is going to be hang tight in this one. We're looking at the money line right here. We don't have a ticket count yet. You see 5% of the bets, 14% of the money on the money line. It's dropped from plus 190 to plus 170. I think UCLA could get these guys outright, but I'm going to take them on the spread. I got them at the plus 6.5, minus 110, being a home dog. It was around this spread too when they faced Indiana a couple weeks ago, but we know how good Indiana is. I'm not sure how good this Minnesota team is. Kind of one-dimensional. Max Brosmer kind of does what he's asked. He's a game-time manager. PJ Fleck not even running the ball super well, but they are playing some good defense. You see all of his receivers blocking for his other guys. Like they do a lot of physical stuff up there over in Minnesota. And I think that UCLA is going to be able to hang tight in this one. If they can put up 2 touchdowns, maybe, 14 to 17 points, I think they can hang tight because I don't see Minnesota getting more than 20 in this spot. Give me the under 41, minus 110. Gave it on Monday at Twitter. And give me UCLA plus 6.5, minus 110 in the game. I think they're going to get them out right here. This is the most winnable game they have on their schedule right now.
I agree with both looks. If I was you as well, I'd be on UCLA, a home dog, and take the under. Like you said, Minnesota, just don't think it's the offense Penn State is. So just take the under in this game here. So beautiful. What was the number you got on the under again?
I got under 41 at minus 110. I think it's at 40.5 right now at some spots. 3% of the money. Geez, that's crazy. 3% of bets, 3% of the money on this under, man. I don't know what people are seeing either, Jose. It's like, I don't think this is sharp money because if it was sharp money coming, it would go the other direction. I'm not sure what the public eye has seen in this one, why they think there's going to be points on the board in this one. I don't know if they just think Minnesota's going to smash them because they're coming off a big emotional win against USC, though. I mean, they stormed the field after that, guys. I mean, there's a lot of emotions running wild in that game here, and heading to the road over to Pasadena. It's gonna be a good game. I think it's gonna be a lot closer than a lot of people think. Maybe UCLA doesn't get them outright, but they're gonna definitely stay within 6 points in this one.
All right. Well, beautiful wine time. Let's recap your action here. You did a great job as always. And yes, he is indeed hitting 61% on the college football season. Our guy, Dabby Cab, is in the chat. And he said, imagine if these two did a show together on the weekends. And you do
Shout out to my guy, Dabby Cab over there. Hey, Jose, my bad. I gave you a wrong line earlier. I think I gave you minus 115 on USC. I actually got minus 120. Minus 120.
Beautiful. Let's go ahead and recap the rest of your action then.
You want me to go over it or do you want to?
I'll go over it because I'm going to make sure I have everything at least written down correctly here real quick. I have USC plus 6, minus 120. Iowa money line, minus 135 there. Ole Miss minus 2.5, minus 110. Ohio State, I don't have lines for that, so that's why we recap. And Ohio State minus 3 and UCLA plus 5.5. And then the last one, UCLA, Minnesota under 41.5, -110. Follow Wine Time on Twitter. You get these plays directly to you. And what were the Ohio State and UCLA lines?
Yeah, Ohio State -3, -120.
All right, beautiful.
And then
UCLA
was +6.5, -110. I got it in on Monday.
Plus, and you said
Monday morning.
-110 for that one?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, beautiful stuff. Wine Time Sports here, and Saturated should be a little offended that he did every Big Ten game and no Illinois is to be found for you, Saturated. No Illinois is to be found for you. But good stuff, Wine Time, hitting at 60% on the college football season, and that is extremely difficult to do. And Wine Time is doing the damn thing. Where can the people find you, Wine Time?
Yeah, guys, give me a follow over at Wine Time Sports on X-Men. I posted my plays usually on Monday night. This week I did Monday morning. I almost did Sunday night, but yeah, I post all my plays ahead of time. I always post throughout the week, though. Always add plays. I added FIU yesterday plus the 17. We cashed that. So yeah, we've got a couple other games going, that we'll talk about with Jimmy the Bag on Friday. Catch me there. Catch me with Boston the Sauce on Saturday mornings with them. Catch me with Dabby Cab in the morning and the live stream. Always a good time. And yeah, shout out to you, Jose, for always having me, my guy. Always a fun time with you, capping these games, man. Shout out to everyone in the chat. Tom Leach, Billy Friedrich, Kong's Clip, my guy, Saturated, Dabby Cab. Saturated, I'm sorry I didn't talk about the Illinois game. They've kind of been off my radar the last couple weeks. Made too much cash on them in previous spots. I'm definitely keeping my eye on them. But shout out to you, my guy. Shout out to Truth Teller. I know you posted those stats for Garbers. A little, like I said, the offensive line has struggled. And if they make those adjustments against Penn State, why can't they make them against Minnesota? But we're still, we'll see. And if Justin Martin starts and has a good game, maybe this is his team from this point forward. But yeah, guys, always appreciate you guys for having me, man. Good luck with everyone. Cash all your tickets today. Everyone that's betting MLB playoffs, good luck to you. Good luck to you, Jose, my guy. Let's go.
Thank you. Let's go, Wine Time Sports. Appreciate you, my guy, as always. Let's keep rolling here because we have more college football games to break down, and we have a great college football guest to break them down with here as well. I'm actually quietly, I'll tell you guys this now because, this is all friends and family here watching Betting with Bouquet on a Wednesday, October 9th kind of day. It's a beautiful time to be alive. I'll be going to Vegas in late January. I'll be seeing this man. It'll be very fun, and I'll be play a little golf with said man, hopefully as well. Try not to embarrass myself with my ladies' clubs out there. And we're going to do the whole damn thing. So it'll be very fun to talk college football with my next guest here. We have tonight's game and his best bets, 3 best bets from the weekend. It's the one, the only, Miggity, Mac Daddy, Connor Mac Picks joining the program. Connor, hello. It's nice to see you.
Jose.
How are you doing?
You know it. Black on black. I'm good. Nice. What's going on? What's going on?
Not too much, Connor. We're watching some playoff baseball, watching your manager piss and moan and give the Dodgers the Padres all the fuel that they need to win this series. Was a little unfortunate.
Hey, it's October. Everything's normal. Dodgers are losing, so I can't go wrong. So and I just at this point I got to bet against them. So I need to cash on this. I'm not gonna,
I need to get my money on.
Yeah, shit.
That's hilarious. Well, Connor, you're right. Everything is right in the world if the Dodgers are winning 100 games, spending big on players, and then once October rolls around, they lose. The time that it wasn't like that, Connor, we were in a fucking pandemic and the world was not the same. So maybe for our sake, we need the Dodgers to keep doing this, or else we're going to have a global pandemic that screws us all. Who knows?
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but let's get to the football. Everything steamrolled yesterday in that game. The airs, it's just awful. But if I was Chado, I would have done the same fucking thing. I mean, if you're the base runner, I would have been running in there too, and then they call it. But if they don't, you get away with it. Why not?
Shout out to Manny Machado. Very interesting.
Shout out to the Mets too. I've been on them.
Yes.
Playoff baseball, very good.
Yes, they've been nice to me as well. Agreed there. Connor, I'm excited that you put this game on your list because I keep forgetting there's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Every day we have a football game. I think it's like 40, 50 days straight of football here. And we have one tonight. And New Mexico State versus Jacksonville State here. And, you know, once upon a time, we were big New Mexico State supporters around here at Pub Sports Radio. Shout out to Nasty Nate. 21-point underdogs here. You know,
is his cousin still there?
I don't believe so. I think he graduated. So we've cut ties. We've cut ties, Connor. Yeah. It's as quickly as we make them, we cut them with universities, I guess. Opened up at 20.5 here. We're up to 21 here. There are still some 21.5s available in this game. And we have 55% of the bets, 58% of the money on New Mexico here. So, you know, semi-popular dog. For the total, we have 75% of the bets, 94% of the money on the over in this game. And we've gone from a 57 to a 59 here, Connor. What do you think?
Yeah, we're going to have a big week. I actually had a good week. The last week on the show here wasn't great, but I did go 11-6. So that's about as much plays as I make in a weekend. But we'll get it here this weekend. That still matters. It's kind of like the losses sit with you, Jose, the Duke loss. That could have covered. But it's like the Bengals on Sunday. Like these things don't lose my mind. They don't lose my mind until the next weekend of a bad loss. So they stay in my fucking head. Just, you know, all day I think about them. Sorry, that's a gambler.
I had the Bengals in the Cappers contest. If the Bengals come through, I'm in solo first. So I agree with you. All
right. Well, sorry. Let's get that out of the way. Let's get to New Mexico State, Jacksonville State in this one. You know, these teams are just different from last year. This first time they played, New Mexico State beat them 2017. Jacksonville State has a lot of their guys back. On a defense that was pretty bad, looks better the last few weeks, even though, I mean, they were up 63-20. They gave up 24, but I didn't think Kennesaw should have even gotten 2 touchdowns because they hadn't scored more than 17 points in almost a calendar year as Kennesaw. But the defense looked better against Southern Miss. The quarterback play has been good, and this offense is just starting to hum the last 3 or 4 weeks, and that is Huff, my guy. And this guy here is a running quarterback in this game. That's what I'm going to look to in this. I think this number is really big. I kind of want to maybe their team total because I do think Jacksonville State could get to 40 here at home tonight. So their team total is right around 38.5, 39. I think they could get there. But I went to a player prop in this game just because I think we have one of the worst run defenses, period, in New Mexico State. They give up 5.7 yards a carry. 233 yards on the ground, and that's where I want to look to in this game. And Tyler Huff, he's basically their running back as their quarterback. He's been getting 15 carries every week after week 1. After he's been the guy, he's consistently got 15 carries. So I'm on his yards here. I got 77.5 earlier this morning. I think they're minus 110. It's right around there too. I think you get 78.5. I saw a couple 79.5s. He gets that easy tonight. He runs wild. Easy here. Tyler Huff, over 77.5 rushing yards. He cashes it. And it's going to be a struggle. You know, this is a ton of points here at New Mexico State. This offense did score last week against the bad. The quarterback play hasn't been there. The defense had looked better, until last week, until they gave up 50. And there was a shit ton of points in that fourth quarter of this game against New Mexico State. There was 43 points in the fourth, Jose. Just no defense there at all. So just to throw that out there, I'd look to their team total. I wouldn't lay it here with Jacksonville State. I would just take that thinking they get to 40, which, they have been lately.
Well, that's a beautiful look there. Our guy Kent Davies was on it earlier in the show as well here, and that is beautiful. So Tyler Huff over 77.5 rush yards here, minus 110.
Yep, minus 110.
Minus 110 for Connor Mack here.
And they've given it up. Last week, Dan Pierre, the dual threat for New Mexico, he only had like 7 carries or 8, I believe. He had 70 yards, 3 touchdowns. Put a little bit on his touchdown. I don't know what, it might be pretty juicy obviously, for Huff, but he should score one. Maybe you parlay that up together there. But we talked about Sam Houston State with Watson. He had, 120 against New Mexico State. I just see it similar. If he's going to run the ball like that, he's basically their number one option. I mean, they're regular running backs. Nobody's getting more than 10, 15 carries tops in any game, Stewart. So I love it. I'm on it.
Well, I hope Mills is still watching somewhere, because you said juicy touchdown prop, and Mills' ears perked up, and he said, "Huh? Juicy touchdown prop?"
He likes him. I don't even know what he's doing, but shout out to Millie Mills. All right.
Shout out to Mills, indeed. Let's get the Saturday best bets here, Connor. And we start in the ACC. Louisville, the University of Virginia here. It's been quite a fall for Louisville. At one point, we thought ACC contenders, maybe an outside college football playoff contender. Now we've tumbled all the way down to unranked again. 7.5-point favorites on the road against UVA. Probably fair. Let's check out and see where the betting public is on this game here. 55% of the bets, 80% of the money on Louisville. Heavy action there on Louisville to start this breakdown here. And for the total, 84% of the bets, 87% of the money on the over in this game. So, wow, we have a lot of over love in this game. Let's check out where this total has gone. And we have, seems like we've plummeted here. 57, a few days ago has turned into a 56.5, and then today dropped all the way to 54.5. So we must have had some news here, Connor, that I'm sure you'll alert me here as well. As for the spread, Louisville here, 7, now a 7.5, like we mentioned. There's still some 7s out there, but a lot of love for Louisville with some sharp action, it seems like, on them. Connor, what do you think?
Yeah, am I on here? Well, let's hit this real quick. I don't mind it. DC Capper. Yeah, I like enough flush. I might have a piece of that, the team total over. I just hadn't bet it yet. But the prop, I like it. Shout out to everyone in here. Appreciate it. Tom Leach, I'm off. COVID's gone, my man. I'm back. Fucking no more sweating it, like killing me last week. I am back. Did you get sick, I thought?
Yes, I did. Yeah, Connor, I called into a radio show yesterday, and I talked about this. With that sickness, I am now 6 days sober of shitting my pants. Connor, 6 days sober of non-shitting my pants. So some of us, we have different battles we fight, Connor, and that sickness destroyed my stomach and my bowels. And 6 days sober for me. What about you?
Well, I'm glad you're feeling better. You always got to, bring up the shitting. It's classic Jose. What it says, if you don't live in the, I take the team total. Jacksonville State. I think they can get to 40 on this team. The way this offense coming, Jacksonville State too plays one of the fastest. We know that with Rich Rod. Just go. I mean, they haven't been one, they've been 2, 3, 4 right there the last couple of years. So at least you're going to get that pace with them. So that's what I'd be on if you can't get the prop in some of your state. It's got to get cleaned up too. Some of the shit, some of these states that don't have all this stuff. Like, just come on, legalize it all. It's probably not going to happen. Yeah, there's not a ton of injuries in this one. Like, there's a couple. Nothing that's really changed this. Cheney's questionable with an ankle. They got a couple wideouts. Lacey. Virginia's just got a few injuries as well. Nothing really big in this one. Last week, one of my plays, I liked Louisville a decent amount against Notre Dame. I didn't bet that game and the under. It was close. And in this game, they're going to be able to move the ball like they did last week. And on their numbers, their defense, overall is 38th, is Louisville. But I don't buy it, Jose. I don't think they're very good. Virginia on the other side, similar, 50th overall. I think these teams are kind of the same. And Louisville is 4-1 to the over. That game got over last week with SMU. I think this line, it's about right. Louisville's touch and dog, but this is where I want Virginia. And this team has consistently beat Louisville 2 years ago, went there and won 34-17, but they've had a trouble at Virginia, and I'm going to see more trouble in this one. The one thing they're going to have success, Louisville, in this game is shot. Virginia does give it up, 260 in the air, and this kid's really, really good, and I hope he stays healthy. The biggest problem with him is he always somehow goes down, has gotten hurt his whole career, but he can sling it, and he should be in this game. But I think there could be a mistake or two, and I think this Virginia offense could do it. Last week I was pretty impressed because in the second half of this team, they're at home against Maryland, September 14th. Winning the game, Jose, this is what they had in the second half. Okay, 3-and-out, pick, 3-and-out, 3-and-out, fumble, downs. Scored 0 points and lost 23-13 to Maryland.
Lord.
Just god-awful. Last week, they didn't do much in the third. They scored 18 points in the fourth. They did get a scoop and score, but they got a field goal before that. Calandri's got to be pretty good, and I think he's going to be just good enough in this game. He just can't turn the ball over. He's not my favorite quarterback, but I think he can do enough, and I think they can run the ball, control the clock a little bit. I'm on the 7 and the hook. Give me the hook for sure on this game. And just as long as they don't have that horrible second half that I saw against Maryland, I don't buy Louisville. I'll dare them to, win by 10 points here on the road. Let's see it. Bring it, Chuck.
Wow, a little UVA action here for Mr. Connor Mag Picks. What line did you get there again?
I give me a 7.5.
All right, 7.
Whatever. I gotta look. What's the best line here?
All right, beautiful. I'm getting minus 108. So let me know if you can beat that. All right, this breakdown, long meandering road, but we got there. Sometimes you have to talk about pooping your pants to get to the premier plays, Connor. That's what happens. And speaking of pooping your pants, let's go to San Marcos, Texas.
Yeah, wait, Jose, let's get to Saturated's thing here. We need storm coverage. Was that something I could see you standing out in your little raincoat out in one of those hurricanes with the mic fucking, that sounds right up your alley.
I can confirm 100% certainty it is in fact raining. I can't confirm that.
Yeah, 100% chance of rain. It is raining. Yep.
Yes, I can see that. I can see that. My sister is in Miami right now, and I was like, "Are you gonna leave?" And she's like, "Nah, fuck it. I've got 2 animals. I'm just staying." I was like, "You fucking."
She's all right though. Miami's just gonna get rain. It's Tampa area.
It's just gonna get flooded to hell. Fuck that. But yes, I'll go watch Big Ragu's house. I'll stand on top of Big Ragu's house to make sure everything's okay. And I do think Saturated is right. Hurricane is a good cover for poopy pants. It is right. It is right. And Andrew G is right. I won't be able to stand. I'll just need to batten down the hatches. I'll need to just bolt myself to the ground and give you guys.
Yeah, what's that guy? He's always out in those for the Weather Channel. He's been doing it for like 20 years. He's just always out in the hurricanes and shit. Forget his name. Someone has his name. Tell me his name.
The only version of that I can think of is the guy from Family Guy, where it's Ollie Brown, and they go to their weather report, and they goes to him, and he's like, "Oh, it's raining," and that's it. Thanks, Ollie, and that's it.
Yeah, right back to you.
Shout out to Ollie, and shout out to Ragu, because I'm sure he did have to evacuate because that storm is coming. So, and anyone in the Tampa area in the chat, get the fuck out of there.
Jim Cantore. Okay, yeah, that's the guy. He's just always blowing. He's like, over here. The guy's nuts.
I'm trying to come for your job, Jim, so watch out. But let's talk Texas State here, Arkansas State. Connor, once upon a time, Texas State was going to make the college football playoff. Everyone was having a great time. San Marcos was buzzing. And now everything seems like it's gotten a little more quiet over there, which is kind of nice. But there's still a good squad here. I see some ridiculous spreads here on them. One of them being here today, 14.5-point favorite against Arkansas State. I'm interested to hear your take on this game. It opened up at 14, went up to 14.5 here. Pretty split. Totals wise, there's not many bets on this game. Excuse me, to start off. Obviously, it's early here, and this is not a premier game, but 53% of the bets and 49% of the money on Texas State here. So, again, split down the middle there. And for the total here, we have, let me go here. You'll be shocked to hear there's a lot of schools that play football. 63.5, and we are getting up to 64s here, interestingly enough. So 64s are coming. 45% of the bets and 91% of the money on the over. It seems as if the sharp play is the over here, Connor. What do you think about this one?
Shout out to my guy, Gerald Jones. He wants the best bet he put on it. Let's just go with tonight. Take Huff. The over the 77.5 or get 78.5. He's going to get more than 80. He's going to get more than 15 carries. That's the best bet. Take tonight's. All right, let's get to it here. My favorite team, Texas State, which I've just been consistent on them. Last week, I thought they take care of business with Troy. They did. I had McLeod's rushing yards. It was easy. So that was nice. And Troy just having a down year. And we all mentioned that the week before they were up. I had Sam Houston. Sam Houston comes all the way back. That wild game there. So I think I've had a good look on them. This line's too fucking big. Jose, you just said, are you kidding me? Not a lot of love for this Arkansas State football team, which I think there should be. I was impressed by them last week. They did give up some yards to South Alabama, but they were able to kind of bend but don't break, and win 18-16. Jalen Rayner, their quarterback, has been very, very good. I think he can match in this game because Texas State, they don't have a great defense. I'm sorry to say they don't. And unlike Troy, Arkansas State's going to score here in this game. Whether we get over, I don't know. I'm not going to mess with the total. Last year was a crazy game, 77-31. Arkansas State beat them, Jose. Some different players, still some guys are there, different quarterback, obviously. But these games normally are tight. This is crazy here. Texas State's a pretty good football team. They shouldn't be laying 2 touchdowns. I don't need to go any further. Take the 14.5. They're going to cover this football game, period.
Arkansas State for Connor Mack. Connor, do you know what the biggest advantage Texas State has here? Their home field is being reconstructed or whatever, just like forever. But the thing they don't tell you, Connor, is that if you enter from one side as an away fan, you have to walk all the way around the stadium to get to the away section. And it's maybe I'm an old man, Connor, but I was fucking dying. I was like, oh my God, dude, I'm dead. I can't even cheer for my team. I just walked 2 miles around this shit bum stadium that is San Marcos. Oh my Lord. But that is Texas State for you. So, all right, good. I'm glad that we're on the same side of history here. Arkansas State plus 14.5 here against Texas State. And let this be a high-scoring game. Let's just be a high-scoring game as long as Arkansas State is scoring with them.
They're going to be able to move the ball. Texas State should be able to move it on Arkansas State. Hey, Michigan's a different type team, but they only scored 28 on them. I saw that game. Tulsa, they beat them. Tulsa's not very good, but Arkansas State beat them. I think they're not giving too much love to them. It's shown here. I thought this line was way off, in this game. So give it to me. 14.5.
Beautiful. 14.5 there, and best line I can get you right now, and obviously let me know if you can beat it. Minus 108 there as well. Some beautiful stuff.
That works. If you got it. I doubt I can beat it. I might be able to get a 105, but I'll take it.
Okay, let's move on. And by the way, for those of you that keep telling me that I need a haircut, unfortunately, I have to keep growing my hair and facial hair for Halloween. So this mop is growing, unfortunately, lads. It's growing, just like my interest and love, of course, with the Mac. I'm a huge Mac guy. Connor,
there's so many Mac games that I like. Sweet.
Oh. Well, I mean, Connor, your name is Connor Mack. I mean, how do you not bet the Mac here frequently? It's so great. I mean, I have Ball State. I root for Ball State particularly, and Ball State has a great quarterback that I hope they can keep for more than 1 year. But we're talking Miami O here versus Eastern Michigan in a very interesting matchup here. So let's talk market here, and then I will get out of the way and let Connor cook here. Eastern Michigan getting some sharp action here as well. 31% of the bets, but 69% of the money on them. 2,500 tickets in thus far. Total, let's hit that up real quick. Miami O here. 2,000 tickets in here as well. 91% of the bets, 84% of the money on the over here. So we'll see if this line has moved. Miami O was opened up at 3.5-point favorites, and it is coming down. 3.5 turns to 3, turned to 2. Eastern Michigan.
I'm not happy about that one here.
Well, it seems like Eastern Michigan is your move here, Connor. Let me clear out now. What do you think?
They are. God damn it. Here we go. Miami, Ohio. This football team here hasn't scored more than 23 points all year long. The offense just can't get going. They still have a pretty solid defense here. And maybe overall they have a little bit more talent. And this is a little dangerous because Eastern Michigan's 4-1. They're 1-4. 1-4 ATS, while Eastern Michigan's 5-0 ATS. But I have to take Chris Creighton here as a dog. We'll get to some of these other MAC games. I think they're live too this week. Home dogs. His record is just crazy as a dog here. As soon as he flips to a favorite, you fade him. You fade Eastern Michigan, even if they play the shittiest team like UMass or whatever. Jose, it's just been consistent. They have the better offense here, and I still think their defense has been solid throughout the year. I mean, last week against Kent State, or September 28th, they put up 52 points. We saw them beat Jacksonville State, who we just talked about earlier, 37-34. I love it. And in the MAC, his number's even better as a dog. So 25-10 is his record. And when he heads out, even playing the MAC, it's very good as well. It's like, I forget, it was 32-13 or some shit like that. But they've just been money. Last year, 13-12. I lean to this under here as well, Jose. I don't know how points will be scored really here for Miami, Ohio. Maybe they finally get something going. But what is that getting? 25 to 30 points in this football game? Ugh. I just don't buy it at all. And we've got the same quarterback here as well, for forever at Miami, Ohio. It just hasn't been working out with Gabbert. I mean, he's just like washed. You know what I mean? He got by. I mean, he was 23 of 46. He almost threw for 300. It was probably his best game, but he had a pick. They just haven't been able to consistently stay out on the field and then not get field goals, get in the end zone. And like I said, Eastern Michigan, maybe not the best defense. They come to play here. I got a 3.5 in this game, but I think they win outright. But give me the 2.5. Let's get the lowest vig on a 2.5.
All right, 2.5. Connor thinks they win outright. I just
minus 105. Just give me that.
Beautiful.
I think they win
I
outright.
just bet it as well, actually. Plus 2.5. I got minus 110. That is great stuff there. Minus 105 for Connor, and I'm locked in with you here as well.
We had it.
Let's hit this again. I mean, how do you not follow a man's Mac action when his name is Connor Mack? Damn it. Come on.
Raw, I like it. I like Colorado there as well. They're on my short list. Colorado team turning it around. Look at Colorado this week.
It is. Shout out to Colorado. And shout out to Ron Crawford here as well. I can't wait. In a few months, Ron Crawford is going to do a benefit concert as well.
Really? Where?
Ron, if you're in the chat, please drop that. It's in the Carolinas to donate and benefit flood relief as well. So once the details get firmed out, we're going to promote it as well. Maybe Ron, I know Ron, he's in the Florida Panhandle, so maybe he can do another one from Florida and keep rocking out. But I'd like to
Ron,
see that.
too. Guitarist, right? Does he play bass or guitar?
Sings like you.
Singer. Okay, yeah. I knew he played guitar. It's my guy, man.
Yeah, shout out to Ron here. Shout out to Ron. And by the way, it's Cedar Key, Florida here. So that's what's Ron. Thank you for correcting me here. That's why you're the man here. But let's give Ron some love here while he corrects all the information I gave you. That was horribly wrong. Beautiful stuff. And Ron, I do need to change. I need to change that goddamn thing. I'm just busy as fuck. I'm going to change the music eventually, Ron. But shout out to you, Ron.
Yeah, let's get some rock music going in there. What the fuck?
I know. I needs to be death metal, screamo, something apparently. Back in Black, who knows? But Ron killed it in NFL Pub Hub a few weeks ago as well. So shout out to you, Ron. My man. Connor, let's recap our action here. Nice to see Mel in the chat as well. Mel, don't worry. I bet Vegas when you told us the other day, so I'm on them already. Shout out to you, Mel. But let's recap our action, Connor, Mac. So you have Tyler Huff over 77.5 rush yards here tonight, minus 110. UVA plus 7.5, minus 108. Arkansas State plus 14.5, minus 108, and Eastern Michigan here, minus 105 here for you today.
Yeah, plus 2.5, minus 105, yeah.
Plus 2.5 there. Beautiful.
The other MAC games, look out, Central Michigan, I think, is live, and I think Buffalo even. They're getting about 10 at home. And, the other big game, though, too, is Northern Illinois Bowling Green. They're favored by 3. Big game there. That should be good. I think I'm going to stay off that in the end. I like Bowling Green, but I don't know if I really want to lay the 3. Should be good.
It should be good indeed. Billy agrees with you. Buffalo and the points there, Connor, and we appreciate you jumping on the program here. It's always great when you can regale us with your presence. Where can you be found nowadays?
Just Connor Mac Picks on X, that is now. And go check out Hitting the Books YouTube channel, Hitting the Books. Go there, like the videos, subscribe if you haven't. Tell everyone you know. That's all you need to do. And that is it, my friend. I'll see you next week. Let's have a big week here.
Yes, Connor, let's have a big week. Start spreading the news, everyone. We're winning here today. All right. And that leads us to one last sport here, Major League Baseball here. And we're going to cover and tackle this one here. We have 4 games here. I have definitely had a better read on the American League than the National League. I'll tell you guys that now. Yesterday, we get reverse swept. 0-2. Had the under in the first game. That sucked. I was so confident. I was like, oh, my God, this is feeling great. And then the Mets just kind of blow up there at the end. And then I didn't have anything official on Padres. I lied. I didn't have any one singular bet on Padres Dodgers, but I did have them in a parlay, and the Bruins sold that for me. So no complaints. 0-2 day. It is what it is, but we are now sitting at 3 units, basically 4 units up on the season. So we're going to keep battling here. I have a few bets on the card here today. So let's talk about them here today. And we'll start off with the first game here. Popping off in a few hours, Alex Cobb versus Bo Brisky here. And I don't know about you guys. I had, some sort of image in my head of Alex Cobb pitching in a bunch of playoff games, and particularly for the Giants. I don't know why I believe that here. Alex Cobb, not a seasoned postseason pitcher. He's had 3 starts this year. His last start on September 1st. I find it very interesting that he's getting to start here today, but he is a veteran. He's had 2 postseason appearances in 2013 with the Tampa Bay Rays. I'm a little worried about him here. Now he's going into a very hostile environment in Detroit, their first game in the playoffs at home, and I just generally feel like in these long layoff situations, when you got these kind of like team of destiny kind of teams like the Metropolitans, you just take the home team. Take the home team here. We've got pitching chaos, as AJ Hinch would say, and I think it is Kiter Montero officially starting now for the Tigers here, and it seems like Bo Brisky is going to be the bulk guy, but we all kind of know that we're getting kind of pitching chaos, like you said, bullpen day adjacent, and we'll see how it all breaks down for the Tigers here. But I kind of like the bullpen day for the Tigers in the aspect of they're going to have the home crowd backing them, supporting them, and I think that energy will help. Kiter has gone deep in games this year before. He's been like a normal pitcher, but I just think the leash is going to be very short. So 3 innings, 4 innings max. Like I don't think he sees the lineup more than twice, and then we'll go back to pitching chaos for them here. So Tigers money line for me is going to be my official play here. We have action on this game. 43% of the bets, 61% of the money on the Guardians, and we went from minus 108 opener to minus 109 Detroit Tigers. Full flip there for the Tigers here. So give me the Tigers full game money line. I bet it at, and I've already bet some of these bets. Some of them are not official yet, or some of them not out yet on my book to bet because of the pitching nonsense here. So I'm moving on the Tigers as we speak here. Minus 109 for me there. We'll keep on moving. I did look at the under in this game, but the under did not have as many green flags as it usually did here. Pretty ticket split, and we've gone a few cents down to the under, but I don't trust Alex Cobb in those rest days, and I think the crowd will be pushing these Tigers here. So we go to our next game here. Phillies Mets, probably the most fun series, right there with the Dodgers, obviously. Ranger Suarez, Jose Quintana. Suarez in a tough spot. And those of you that watch Ranger Suarez this year know that he had a tale of two halves in the regular season. I'm trying to pull up the splits now to really have it come in here. So March, April, 1.32 ERA. May, 2.32 ERA. But September, October, a 6 ERA. In August, a 5 ERA. And in July, a 6.61 ERA. So that is a first half ERA of a 2.76 compared to a 5.65 there. Now, he had 114 innings pitched in the first half and only 36 2/3 there in the second half. Maybe they were trying to, kind of wean him out and trying to save him for the postseason, but that does not inspire confidence when you want to back a pitcher here. And honestly, I've been telling you guys, I think the Phillies are going to win the World Series this whole year. Phillies, Yankees. I kind of think the Phillies are done. So I am going to be on the Metropolitans in this game. Let's talk about Rangers' last 3 appearances against the Mets. His 3 this year. His latest one on the 21st. Pretty good start. 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs on 2 home runs. 5 2/3, 8 hits, 2 earned runs. In his second appearance, and in his first appearance early on in the season, he dominated them. 5 innings, 2 runs, none of them earned. Mets were one of the best teams against lefties this year in baseball. They're 4th best over the season. And let's get to the market in this game. 61% of the bets, 75% of the money on the Mets. I don't love being on a semi-public side, I guess, but I just think the momentum is there. I bet the Mets at minus 108, and I'm looking at my book now. It is now minus 119 New York Mets, and I bet that at the beginning of the show here, which is very interesting. Minus 108. It actually opened up minus 112. Phillies as well, and just been slowly bet back down and to the Mets here. I think the Mets win this game. Shout out to my guy, Dami Gunn-Ricci. I talked to him yesterday, guys, as well. Dami Gunn, we all know, an OG of this game. Who Bangin' Sports, Mets fan. Talked to him about the Mets, and he's having a great time. He likes Mets team total over 3.5, and I do like that as well here. So not bad. Saturated, remind me real quick about that hit parlay, and I will try to help you at the end here because I can pull up all of the batters and sort them who hits the starter they're facing the best, and that'll be easier for me to pick through that list, and I will do that at the end for you, Saturated. So I like the Mets here. I'm on the Mets officially, and I've been on totals a lot, and I have not moved on any today, and there's maybe one I'm going to move on. Maybe one I'm going to move on at the end, but no total action for me here today. This total, 86% of the bets, 81% of the money on the over. Lines moving down to the under again. I lean under, but it cost me yesterday, so I'm not going to move it on today. So let's go Mets for me. Next, New York Yankees, Kansas City Royals here. First home game for Kansas City, 1-1. And if I had to power rank, and this is not going to be too surprising, if I had to power rank the teams that I think could lose that first home game, probably be the Royals. But this pitching matchup is interesting. Clark Schmidt, who's pitched really well for the Yankees this whole year, has kind of been unheralded. I'm surprised he's getting the start against Seth Lugo. Arguably is probably top 3 Cy Young Award finisher this year. And we obviously did not have Seth Lugo doing that before the season. Lugo's last appearances in the regular season were all kind of shaky. He kind of just trying to get him to the regular or trying to get him to the postseason, I should say. He did on September 10th go 7 shutout innings, 3 hits, 10 Ks, no walks against these very Yankees. Earlier in the year, he went 7 innings, 8 hits, 4 earned runs against them as well. So I do think he can come out here and pitch well. Market in this game is the most, kind of confusing for me here. 69% of the bets, 79% of the money on the Yankees. We have not moved at all money line wise, -110, and it's stayed there the whole time for the Yankees. I think the Royals are live in this game, and I think the Royals definitely can win this game. I'm going to move on the Royals, but I think it is the side I feel the least confident in. And I am going to have, it seems like, action in every game, at least, I guess, a side in each game. So that'll be a fun day for me here. But Royals is going to be my pick in this game, or my bet, I should say. I think that home crowd, first home game in Kansas City, home playoff game since they were winning World Series and going back-to-back, Eric Hosmer in the whole game. So I think that home crowd will help them out here. And I trust the Royals and Seth Lugo here. By the way, bullpens, obviously if you follow this, you guys know that we had some days off for certain teams. We've had back-to-back for other teams like the Guardians, Tigers. But these bullpens are going to go. So we're probably going to see Lucas Ursig again here today. Zerpa, John Schreiber. I can never say his fucking name. I don't know what it is. So we'll see all those guys here again for the Royals. And the number one pieces for the Yankees as well, Warren. So if you guys like unders in this, I wouldn't be surprised in this. And it's Luke Weaver, not Warren. Sorry. But yeah, I like the Royals. I'm on the Royals in this game. And that leads us to our last game, Dodgers Padres. And I'll check the chat here right now as well. I'd love to see what you guys have to say as well. Line says Royals for 77 here. Ron Crawford spreadsheet dog on the Royals. BJ on the Yankees. That's a little scary here. And I know, Andrew G, I know. I fucking cursed that under here as well. So, all right. I agree with you. But let's go to our last game. I'm glad you guys like the Royals. BJ, good luck with the Yankees. Like I said, if there's one of those teams, one of those road teams I think can win, it's probably the Yankees. But it's more a reflection on the Royals, I guess, than it is the Yankees. Dodgers Padres here. Landon Knack getting the start. The Dodgers already released that they're doing a bullpen day here as well. Bullpen day, I'm very interested to see how they treat Landon Knack. He's pitched well for them in spots, but it's going to be very short leash. And we've all seen Dave Roberts kind of fire up the boys in San Diego, say they're playing the villain role, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's just not good ball for if I was Dave Roberts. Really just kind of fed the beast there. And San Diego is going to be rocking. It's right there with the bank for postseason atmospheres. Landon Knack faced the Padres in late September, last weekend, September. 4 innings, 5 hits, 4 earned runs on a home run, 4 Ks, 1 walk. I think the Padres win this game. And you guys, if you guys watch Betting with Bouquett throughout this whole year, you guys have heard me say that I did not think the Dodgers were going to win the World Series this year. I did not think the Dodgers were going to be a major factor. And is partly because of all those injuries and partly because, this is the first time that Shohei Ohtani is going to be in there and he's going to show up. But he's not going to show up like he would if he was pitching and hitting. So I think that one guy is going to be there, but it's still the same old Dodgers team that, as you heard Connor Mack say, they lose in the postseason. This is kind of what they do, and I think they do here today as well. Dylan Cease on short rest for the Padres is going to be obviously interesting to watch here. But I think the line movement in this game says it all, really. Opened up -110 San Diego. Quickly gets up in this game. So I'm very interested. I'm very interested to see. And Bet Online had this up at -140 at one point, it seems. Very interesting. You know what? This is fascinating. So Bet Online kind of giving me a head fake here. Open this up at -110 and then quickly move the line to -140 after we have the pitching kind of rearranged. But fascinatingly enough, -141 for the for the Padres is now -128. So it's definitely coming down in the Dodgers direction, and it's 33% of the bets and 73% of the money on the Dodgers. Wow. That is interesting. This is, ultimate backs against the wall. You lose, you're done deal. So, man, that is a tough one here. I came into this game thinking Padres was going to be my bet, and I just want to double check and make sure I didn't move on it already. But that market will probably end up keeping me off. Like I said, this opened up, and I'll go over it one more time for you guys, and let me give my odds page a quick refresh here as well, so I can give you guys the most updated information here. We'll use Heritage and Bookmaker for our examples here because Bet Online puts out a bogus opener there. -141 opener for San Diego, down to -128. And for Bookmaker here, it opened up at last night at -150 and quickly tumbles down. It's at -130 right now, San Diego. So let me see what you guys have to say in the chat here. I kind of do like the Dodgers with that line movement. I did think the Padres were going to kind of steamroll them here. I didn't trust the bullpen day. Maybe a team total perhaps here, but let me just see this. Jerry Davis mentioning that the Dodgers just freaking own Dylan Cease. Let's look at Dylan Cease's last appearances here real quick with my own eyes here, because like I said, I thought I was going Padres here, and I'm pretty surprised. So Cease, he's had 2 appearances against the Dodgers as a Padre, 5 2/3, 3 hits, 1 earned run. Good. And 5 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs in his last regular season appearance there. I mean, I'm not going to put too much stock into that last one, honestly, right before the playoffs. And I heard a good case on a podcast that the Padres have known that they are going to have to play the Dodgers in the postseason the entire year. They know that this is the one team they have to go through to win, and I'm sure they've been really hyped up about it, and they've got them on the ropes right now. And it just, I don't know. It seems like at home is just the perfect time to take them out right now with a bullpen day. So I'll end up staying off sidewise. But let's talk total here, because this was the one total that I think I will move on. 83% of the bets, 79% of the money on the over. We opened up at an 8.5, it seems, minus 120 to the under already, and we went down. It's just a little scary to bet the under with how these bats have been hitting this series. So I think it's just going to be a complete stay off of this series, or off this game here. So no action for me, it seems, in this last game. I thought I was going to have action in all the games, but that won't be the case. So no moves in this game. Let me go through the chat here real quick. The Chillis saying pod smash. The series doesn't make it back to LA here. Books need a game on Friday. The Mets are more likely to close it versus the Padres, in my opinion. I probably agree with you there, BJ. If I had to pick one of the closeouts, I think I'd definitely pick Mets here as well. Dodgers are only 4-12 as dogs on the road this year. I'll take the plus 1.5 only. Okay. And Jerry Davis mentioning if Glasnow didn't get hurt, the Dodgers might have had a chance to be champs, but it would have been sweaty. Now they have no shot. Dodgers first 5, I think, is the move tonight here. And yeah, I mean, Cease on short rest is going to be scary. Sportsman of the Year saying Mookie Betts total bases. He's getting shit on in the media because he's not had a hit in like the playoffs since like 2022. So I wish you luck there, Sportsman of the Year. And BJ, yeah, he's saying Dodgers are nothing for him here. So interesting. All right. I'm going to stay off then. That'll be an easy stay off game for me. Like I said, I thought I was going in there with action in all the games, but no action for me there. So that will leave me with my 3 official plays here of the day. New York Metropolitans minus 108 full game money line. Tigers full game money line minus 108, and Kansas City Royals plus 101. We had a birthday here today as well. Shout out to my guy Gerald Jones, his birthday, and his birthday best bet is the first 5 under 4 in the Mets-Phillies game here. Well, Jerry, happy birthday to you, and your birthday play from me to you is the New York Metropolitans there. So good luck, my guy, there. Now, quickly, I did not forget saturated about your hit parlay. I would like to quickly see who are the best hitters against today's pitchers here. So like I think I saw you say Iglesias and Harper are locked in for you. I wasn't 100% sure, like I said, but I like Kyle Schwarber. He is 7 hits, 21 plate appearances, 333 average, 1 home run against Quintana. I kind of like him. You mentioned Jose Iglesias. I like that. 6 hits and 8 plate appearances, 750 average. Iglesias. Josh Rojas, maybe. Is that Josh Rojas? It's Johan Rojas. I'm thinking of Seattle Mariners Josh Rojas now. Yeah, so and I don't hate Adam Frazier, who's hitting 500 there. But if you asked me to do 3, I would do, like you mentioned, Iglesias. I would do Francisco Lindor, 18 hits, 18 plate appearances, 5 hits, 313 average, a home run there. I think there will be a shot of the dramatic here for them. And I would put Ohtani in there, back against the wall kind of game, even though he doesn't have the numbers against Cease. I would put Ohtani in there. And my 4th one for you, and I'm sorry this isn't very good content right now. I apologize here. I'm looking at OPS real quick to see. I guess, yeah, Kike Hernandez would be my 4th one. 12 plate appearances, 5 hits, a home run against Dylan Cease there, 12 OPS there. So shout out to you. Tatis was the other one there. So not bad. So shout out to you, Saturated. There's all of my guys that I kind of like there as well. Thank you, Sportsman. Do I favor an Ohtani dong? I had a friend that bet it yesterday, and he said he warning track flew out and teased him. I truly think that Shohei Ohtani is the greatest baseball player we will ever see play baseball in any of our collective lives now, better than Barry. And I know that's a hot take to say, and I think he comes up in the big moments. So I truly would not be surprised if in his first at-bat, he came out there and fucking destroyed a ball. Saturated. So I do kind of like Ohtani home run. He comes up in the big moments, that guy. So shout out to him. All right. Let's recap all action here real quick, and let's get out of here. We appreciate you guys sticking with us. 2-hour show here on a Wednesday. Betting with the Bag will be back tomorrow. Jimmy doing his whole thing. He's got Betting with the Bag. We've got the Cappers Contest show, and he's got his Thursday night live stream as well. A very good Thursday night game as well. Seahawks, 49ers. Great game. Going to be fun to watch there. So tune in with us then. But our plays here today. Gokster in the NHL. No goal first 10 minutes. Rangers Penguins plus 125. The Winnipeg Jets plus 150. And Las Vegas Golden Knights minus 107. I too am on the Golden Knights. I got them yesterday. I got them at minus 110. And I'm leaning towards Winnipeg Edmonton under. But I do not have enough of a hockey sample size to trust my totals yet. But I do like that under, and I might quietly bet that personally there. For our college football looks, we have Wine Time Sports coming in with USC plus 6, minus 120. Iowa Moneyline, minus 135. Ole Miss, minus 2.5, minus 110. Ohio State, minus 3, minus 120. The UCLA Bruins, plus 6.5, minus 110. And Minnesota UCLA under 41 at minus 110. Connor, for today's game, he has Tyler Huff over 77.5 rush yards, minus 110. UVA, the University of Virginia, plus 7.5, minus 110. Arkansas State, plus 14.5, minus 108. And Eastern Michigan, plus 2.5, minus 110. I, too, am on Eastern Michigan, plus 2.5, minus 110. And my baseball, we just talked about it. New York Mets, Detroit Tigers, Kansas City Royals there. So appreciate you guys. I do like the Dodgers, but not enough to get me there at the end because I was originally Padres, and it's kind of tough to do that full 180 flip there. So appreciate you guys. Thank you all. Ron, I'll check my DM here, and we'll get this promotion going for the concert. Can't wait to see you there. Red Girl, nice to see you. Saturated, Joey Marinaccio, Am I Lying? Here, Sportsman of the Year, Eyeball 509, Kelly McInnes. Thank you, Kelly, for being in here. Jerry Davis, JR. Mookie homered last night? I didn't even know that. That was hilarious. That's how much I paid attention to that game last night, guys. I was too busy on the sand volleyball court winning 4v6 at plus 7,000 underdogs. But we appreciate you guys. And obviously, I was a little busy with the football as well. And all those football games are cut up right now. You guys can cut them. You guys can watch them cut up individually into games. We have a lot of big games. Sunday night football, Bengals, Giants, a lot of fun there. And Jets, Bills. We'll have another fun live stream then as well. Again, reminder, Betting with the Bag back tomorrow. Jimmy, myself, the whole gang will be doing the damn thing. Thank you guys. Am I Lying? Pipe Player. And yeah, I didn't remember really. I'm sorry. I did not catch Mookie Betts' home run. I apologize. And you know what? Satcher asked a great question. Who is in the lead in the Cappers contest? It is little old me. I am tied with my guy Mitch Fearing. So Mitch, good luck. I hope you fail, Mitch. And I wish all you guys the best of lucks here as well. BT, thank you for dropping this. Hit the like on your way out, gentlemen. Jimmy again back with us tomorrow. Till then, say hey, and we'll see you guys next time for another edition. Say hey, plays.